Hey team, how are we? It's Darren here, and I thought I'd just touch base with you from home and take you through the first of our soft tissue hygiene video tutorials. Okay, so what we're going to do in this video series is we're going to start at the bottom. So we're going to start with our feet and kind of the back of our calves as well. All right, so this video is going to be really cool for kind of plantar fascia problems, calf strains, soleus strains, treating a woman at the moment with a posterior tibial tendon problem. So this is going to be great for that. And every week, what we're going to do soft tissue mobilization video, which is what we're going to do today using our massage gun. Now you can pick these up really cheap now, okay? For like 30 to 50 quid, you can get something decent. This one's a little bit more expensive, it's like 180 quid, but you know, they do go up in price to like 500 quid, some of them, but something mid-range, do you a world of good. I've been using this on a bit of a knee injury, bit of a shoulder injury, and it's helped me out loads. So these things are really cool. Okay, so we're gonna look at kind of the underside of the foot today. And we're going to look at kind of everything right up the back of the leg as well. Now it's really important to learn that all the tissue kind of at the back of the lower calf, coming round the heel and all across the underside of the foot, is one continuous kind of stream or layer of tissue, all right? Which means that anything, so kind of plantar fascia pain might not be the bottom of the foot, okay? It might be issues around the soft tissue in your Achilles tendon. It might be issues kind of with things going on in your soleus up into your calf. It could even be something in your kind of hip flexor or groin, but we're not kind of going to go that far afield today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through how to use the massage gun to kind of help you with stuff like plantar fascia pain and Achilles tendinosis, and kind of help you with calf strains as well. So here we go. So, okay, we're going to work on this left foot. I'm going to work on this left foot because I've got, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but I've got a really big tendinosis on my big toe tendon at the bottom of my foot. So this has been causing me a little bit of problems and a little bit of kind of plantar pain. So doing these techniques really helped. All right, so I picked up this injury in 2012. It's not going to change. All right, we're not going to get rid of the tendinosis now. It's too fibrous, too kind of embedded in. But what we are aiming to do is change the properties of our connective tissue to make them flow over each other easier, and kind of get rid of all the bind and things that are kind of getting gunky and being undernourished because they're not able to get proper blood flow. Okay, so we're going to turn the massage gun on, put it up a little bit higher, and then all we're going to do to start with is just going to be nice and light. So you're almost going to be perpendicular to the tissue. Okay, and what we're going to do, we're going to work on the tissue, or one bit of tissue at a time. Alright, and we're not going to be working up and down the foot because that isn't going to really do anything, okay? So the biggest takeaway you get from this video is patience. Alright, one area, nice and light to start with. You can undulate a little bit, kind of maybe move it like an inch. You can go an inch the other way. So I'm going to start kind of right underneath my heel, okay? So where kind of my heel bone attaches to the other bones in the foot. Alright, so like your navicular and your cuboid bone as well. Alright. So I'm just going to work on that area. Alright, nice and light. And then what I'm going to do, as the tissue eases and I start to get a little bit of desensitization in the tissue, then I'm going to go a little bit more vertical and get a little bit more compression into the tissue. Alright. So we can start pushing a little bit harder, but I'm only working on like the border of my heel bone, all right, and all the plantar tissue right underneath. Okay, I would advise using the ball attachment because you get into the tissue a lot better. All right, so we're going to spend, like I said, about a minute, and I kind of split your foot up into like kind of inch segments and kind of work on each inch segment for about a minute. Every time you move to another segment, you start perpendicular again, desensitize the tissue, and and just patience is the key, guys. Alright, so you see all these athletes on like the promo videos for the massage guns, and they're just kind of doing all of this. That isn't going to do anything, right? It is only going to hit superficial layers of tissue. You need to have patience, and you need to spend time on each individual segment. Alright, so just doing the underside of the foot might take you about 5 to 6 minutes. Alright, but as a daily ritual, I think it's definitely worth it. To stop you getting plantar fascia problems. For runners, invaluable. For people who do a lot of running, crossfitters, invaluable, okay? So we're going to move up a little bit now. Again, we're going to go perpendicular, so we're getting a little bit more kind of shearing forces, not as much compression force. You know, right on the tendon now, so this is a bit sore. So this is right on where I've got that tendinosis on my big toe tendon. But it's over the last few kind of weeks and months that I've been doing this, it's desensitized a lot, and the tissue's starting to feel a lot better. Okay, and what I do as well is the bits that are really tender, I just spend a little bit more time in those areas. Okay, because that's going to help them kind of get a bit more nourished. And what we're really doing with this technique is just trying to get blood flow into the tissue. Okay, so the more blood flow we get, the more kind of fluids we get kind of floating in between the different fibers of the tissue, the better it's going to behave, the less pain it's going to give you, and kind of the more fluid your movement is going to be. Okay, so you're going to work right up to the balls of your foot. Okay, and we're just, again, inch segments, bit by bit down your foot. Spend about a minute to 2 minutes on each inch segments moving across. Okay, so you can move up and down an inch, you can move crossways an inch, you can kind of put more compressive forces in. All right, guys, soft tissue work is not that hard. Right, and anything that you do to kind of mobilize the tissue is going to be a positive, so you can't really do this wrong. The only way you're doing it wrong is if you don't spend enough time on each area. So the good thing about this attachment, it's nice and soft, and you can actually go now over the ball of over the heel of our foot. Okay, so we're going to get into the fat pad on the heel of our foot, and it's going to feel really nice. All right, so we're just going to spend about a minute on the heel. I'm not going to spend a whole minute on this video, but again, little inch movements, starting perpendicular, and then we're going to just go a little bit more kind of straight on to get a little bit more compression. Okay, but you don't want to go kind of full compression on this because it's quite bony and it's just going to start rebounding against you. Okay, so spend a little bit of time on your heel. It's going to feel really good, and then all we're going to do is we're going to start working up the back of our heel now. Again, and I stay pretty kind of perpendicular on this one, all right, and go for kind of shearing forces and the vibration. All right, and all the vibration is telling the body to do is just, again, send blood flow there, improve the viscosity of the tissue, help it slide over itself a little better. All right, you ain't going to change the length of your connective tissue, guys, and you would not want to change the length of your connective tissue, all right, because it means you kind of, your joints will be unstable and everything will be unstable. Right, so let's look up now at the Achilles tendon. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to go in between the space. All right, and again, it's going to be quite perpendicular, shearing forces, and we're just going to spend a bit of time on the side of the Achilles tendon, working in the space. Now what we can do with this one is we can put in some kind of foot flexion extension, yeah, and we can just stay in one place with the gun, put a little bit of flexion extension in. If you want, you can put some ankle circles in, just move somewhere different. And then all we do, we're going to move on to the actual Achilles tendon itself. Again, don't be too compressive with this, so you don't want to be pushing down hard, and I wouldn't go too vertical. I'd stay kind of on an angle, and again, sink in, extend. Sink in when you go into plantar flexion, and just hold when you go through dorsiflexion, okay? And these micro movements are just going to help your nervous system to kind of kick in a little bit faster. They're going to help you create a bit more viscosity and fluidity through the tissue a little bit quicker. Okay, so now we're going to go into the other side of the tissue. I'll spin you around. We're going to come up, and we're just going to work on now the outside of our Achilles tendon, okay? And again, just going to go through some micro movement, okay? And I'm just going to hold it there in one place because I can't really see what's going on in this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let the gun do the work and then just use my micro movements of my foot. So I can go back in, to my circles, my plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, and I can take a bit of inversion, eversion if I want to as well. Okay, so I just work right up kind of to this area in your calf, and then we'll do another video where we look at getting into like the meaty part of your calf and your calf muscles themselves as well. Okay, but that kind of concludes our video for today. And the takeaway, which is going to be pretty much a takeaway for all our kind of soft tissue mobilization videos, is spend time in one area, be patient, and kind of just spend a minute or two just in one kind of little square inch area or kind of little bit, add in micro movements. Now the micro movements that I was doing for the ankle, you could do the same. So you could have the gun on the underside of your foot and just flex and extend your toes as well. Okay, you could go in eversion, inversion as well, where you're just holding the gun in one place. All right, but to get actual kind of a good result with this and make some changes in the behavior of the tissue. Now remember, you're not going to change the length of the tissue. All right, and neither would you want to, but you can change the behavioral properties of the tissue so they get better nourished, they kind of become more kind of viscous and kind of fluid, and they kind of move over themselves much better, get away from the painful kind of binding effect that kind of basically happens when we get kind of plantar fascia issues. All right, so give that a go. Let me know how you feel in the comments below, and please like and subscribe to our videos as well. Yeah, we'd kind of love to have you on board, and we're going to be kind of uploading 2 of these a week. So the next video, we're going to be focusing on our foot and ankle again, the underside of our foot, our Achilles tendon, and this time it's going to be like an exercise based video. Okay, so I'll probably see you at the gym for that one. All right, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.